Okay. Alright, so presentation on counters, question number 6.25 part D. So it was assigned to me as per my roll number. So I'm going to start this presentation. This presentation is presented by Avinash Sharma and roll number 014164032118, BTech CSC 4th semester. Okay, so I'm going to start this presentation. So I have listed some of the outlines on which we're gonna discuss about. So first thing first, what is a counter, and after that we'll discuss about T-type flip-flop particularly, because our question is related to T-type of flip-flop only. So that's why I'm gonna discuss about T-type flip-flop only, and after that we'll discuss about the question number 6.25 part D. So I've listed the question as you can see on the screen. Design a counter with the following repeated sequence. So there's a repeated sequence which is given to us, and we have to design a counter by using T flip-flop. So this was the question which was assigned to me. Okay, so we'll discuss all these outlines one by one. Alright, so let us begin with the counter thing. So first of all, what is a counter? So I have listed the basic definitions here. So I'm just going to read that definition. Like, what is a counter? A counter is a device which stores and sometimes displays the number of time a particular event or process has occurred, often in relationship to a clock signal. Okay, so this was the basic definition of the counter. I have listed two other definitions also. So I think we are done with the counters, and now we let us discuss about the types of counters. So there are two types of counter. If we further divide counters, there are two types of counter. First one is asynchronous, which is also called a ripple counter. Okay, and second one is synchronous counter. So there's a difference between these two, and we'll discuss about that also. Just wait. Okay, so let us first discuss about asynchronous or the ripple counter. Okay, so what is a ripple counter? Okay, so I just listed the functionality of the ripple counter, so let us discuss about that also. So the flip-flop output serves as a source of triggering other flip-flops. Okay, so here, as you can read it, like the flip-flop output serves as the source of triggering to other flip-flops. That was all about asynchronous ripple counter. And if we talk about synchronous counter, because our question is related to synchronous counter, that's why we're going to discuss this in detail. Like, first of all, let us discuss about the functionality and how it works. Like, okay, so the input pulse are applied to all clock pulse input of all flip-flop. The change of a particular flip-flop is dependent clock pulses. Here CP means clock pulse on the present state of the flip-flop. Okay, so this was all about synchronous counter, but there is a basic difference. Like, in case of synchronous counter, a clock a clock is simultaneously provided to all the flip-flops of the counter. So that was the basic and main difference of the asynchronous and synchronous counters. And after that, let us discuss about the second outline, which was the T flip-flop. So I've listed the main functions of the T flip-flop. So let us just read it at once. Like, T stands for toggle. So a T flip-flop or a toggle flip-flop is a complementing flip-flop can be obtained from a JK flip-flop when two inputs are tied together when D0, DQ, and no change in the input when T is 1. Okay, so DQ and the output complements. So here nothing more than, but there is only a single input for J and K. So a T flip-flop can be derived from JK flip-flop if we provide single input to the J and K flip-flop. Suppose if T is 1, then it is 1 for both J and K flip-flop, and we'll get output like I have listed the truth table also. You can see on the screen, like truth table is here, so we'll get q and q complement as output. You can say output or input or inverted input, whatever you can say. So the truth table is here, and on the truth table you can say, like, you'll get input as t, okay, and the present state is qn, and the next state is qn plus 1, which is nothing but the output of the system or the circuit. Alright, so these were the all the possible combinations, and so I have listed all of them here, and let us move further. Okay, so let's move further, and now here I have listed characteristic table and the excitation table. Okay, so here, in if we talk about characteristic table, you can see, like, here t and q are the input, okay, and there are I have listed all the possible combinations of the input, which is t and q. Q is here q is nothing but the present state, and we get output q next, which is nothing but the next state. Okay, and on the them there are some comments, like, you'll say, like, in last two cases the toggling effect can be seen. And if we talk about excitation table, q and q next is the input, and the t stand for toggle here, and you can say, like, the input which was given to the flip-flop. So here, that's the output. So if we talk about excitation table, q and q next are the input and t is the output. And according to them, I have listed some comments, like, no change, no change, which is nothing but the memory condition, and after that we'll get the toggling, means complemented condition. Alright, so we should know about excitation table, because in our question we're gonna derive a state transition table, which can be derived from excitation table only. So we should know about this. That's why I was talking about excitation in detail, excitation table in detail. Alright, so let us just move further, and how to design a synchronous counter. So all these steps, you can follow all these steps. I have listed all these steps, and we'll discuss about all these steps one by one. So let us just begin, okay, with our question. So the question was, design a counter with the following repeated sequence, like 0 1 3 7 6 4, using T flip-flop. Alright, so let us do the solution. Let us discuss the solution. Okay, so the first step is to create a transmission diagram. So I already created the diagram, and as you can see on the screen, the transition is from 0 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 7, 7 to 6, and then 4, and then 0 again. Okay, so this is the transmission diagram, and I have listed the binary code also, so it is more clear now. And on the basis of this transmission diagram, we'll derive our transition table in our next slide, and it will make more sense when we'll derive transition table. Okay, so let me just change the slide. Okay, so here, as you can see on the screen, like, transition table is here, and here I have listed the current state, okay, and the next state. Okay, so next state is nothing but from the previous slide, like this suppose this is the current state, then the next state from the 0 will be this one, which is nothing but 1, and the next state from 1 will be this, and again this, and this, and this. So that's why I have listed current and next state as number of inputs. Alright, so in our current state table, I have listed all the possible combinations, and according to them, I have listed all the possible next states, and there are some do not care conditions also present in the system, because if you check the state transmission diagram, you'll say, like, 4 and sorry, not 4 but 2 and 5 are missing. That's why we have to do not care conditions. Okay, and we're gonna use a 3 byte counter, a 3 byte counter, and it is because the number of flip-flops gonna be 3, because the we're gonna use 3 bits, and that's totally depend on the 2 raised to power n, where n is 3, means we're gonna use 3 bits. And you can see like 3, 2 raised to power 3 is 8, so we got 8 combinations here. Okay, so on the basis of these, like I told you, like we can derive this table from excitation table. And let me just yeah, so here's the excitation table, and if we have present state and next state, we can easily find the t, which is the output of this excitation table. So let us just discuss about that. Alright, so here, so as you can see, we have present state, next state, so we can easily derive this t2, t1 or t0 for each of the cases, like 0 0 0, do not care, 0 1 0 1. So if 0 is here and 0 is the next state is also 0, then we'll get the output as 0. And if 0 the next state is also 0, then again we'll get output 0. Here the do not condition, here the 0 and next state is as 1, then we'll get the output 1. So similarly, I just listed all these binary codes, and let us just move further. We are done with the state transition table. Okay, so the next step is to create a k map for t2, t1 and t0. Okay, so on the basis of the input, on the basis of the table or the transition table, we are just going to derive our equation by doing a simple algebra in the k map. So let us do this here. As you can see on the screen, this is the k map for t2, this is the k map for t1, and this is the k map for t0 or t0. Alright, so just after doing all these k map thing, we'll get these equations, as you can see on the screen, these equation. And after getting these equation, we can easily derive our counters. Like as you can see on the screen, this circuit is here, and we have three flip-flops, three T type flip-flop, because the bit we are going to use was 3, so that's why we use 3 flip-flop in the counter. Okay, so this is the whole circuit of the counter, and I have used an OR gate and AND gate. That's all I used. So this is just and it is the clock which is simultaneously given to all of the flip-flops, which we do in synchronous counters. Alright, so I think we are done with our answer, and let us just finalize our answer. So hence the given sequence has been designed as self-correcting counter. So I'm going to thank you. So thank you, ma'am, for assigning me this question, and this was all, and I'm going to end this presentation.